Welcome. I'm Harmony Slater, your host of the Finding Harmony podcast. Over the past 20 years, I've taught thousands of yoga teachers and students to explore the intersection between ancient wisdom and modern everyday life, using mind-body practices to heal, awaken, and manifest their dreams from the inside out. This podcast is a sanctuary for those feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges. Are you ready to jump in and discover how these challenges aren't actually in the way, but are the way to finding harmony? Let's invite the magic back in. Hi, welcome to the Finding Harmony podcast. I'm so happy you're here today because we are diving back into the wonderful world of manifestation. I'm meeting with a manifestation coach. She's also an entrepreneur and business coach who looks at how to create the life and business you love from the inside out. I think this is perfect timing because B School is opening up July 16th, and I'm once again helping spiritually curious entrepreneurs or those who love yoga, who love building businesses that are based on wellness through the B School program inside my mastermind. So we're going to talk a little bit about what it is to manifest the life you love, what it takes, how to do it. And I think you're going to love this time with Liv, who is just so inspiring and a woman who's built an incredible business all by herself. And I hope that it gets you fired up and thinking about all the things that you can do in your own life with your own business, whether it's yoga or coaching or tarot card reading or spiritual wellness. This episode's going to inspire you to manifest new things and reach new heights. So let's just jump right in. Hi, welcome to the Finding Harmony podcast. I'm your host, Harmony, and I am here with the ever beautiful Liv Johansen. How are you, Liv?
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for having me.
Beautiful. Well, you are a good friend of mine. We met when we were in a coaching program, I guess a year and a half ago almost now, the Mastery Method coaching program. But since then, we have connected again and again, and I love all of what you're doing. You are a manifestation teacher, a mindset and psychology nerd, self-proclaimed, a serial entrepreneur. Perhaps we have that in common. A dreamer. We also have that in common. And you had, for a very long time, one of the top-rated podcasts in Denmark being rebranded into an English podcast coming your way soon. Do you have the title for your new podcast, what it's going to be?
It's Livness.
Beautiful.
Yes. Thank you so much.
One of the things that I really think is awesome about what you're doing is you are just really into helping women create the life and the wealth and the confidence that they want to call in.
Yes. Yeah. And thank you. And I appreciate you. And I love everything you're up to in the world too. So I'm so glad that we connected. And I do think that what I see in you and what I resonate with is that open heart, like really wanting to make a difference. I think the world needs women who are shining their light, who are not playing small, who are taking up space and above anything. Yes, the success, the business, career, whatever you want. Just feeling fulfilled.
And I mean, you blew my mind when we first met. I think we were talking about masterminds and group coaching programs and different things. And you were telling me how you had this amazing group of women. You rented a house and I don't know what they were paying you, but it was more money than my mind could conceive at that time. And I was like, holy shit, this girl's killing it. I think you were such an example for me of someone who wasn't afraid to just really step in and step up and be confident. And I don't know, not to put a dollar sign to your value, because we both know that's impossible, but also say what I'm offering is worth this amount. And I think that's really hard for, I'm just going to say for me, but also for women to really for some reason, it seems easy. You see all these bro marketers out there who have no problem like charging thousands and thousands of dollars for something that's subpar. And I know so many incredible women, entrepreneurs like yourselves, coaches, teachers, yoga teachers, like spiritual leaders, who really have a hard time or struggle with charging a premium price for a premium product and really saying, you know what I'm doing holds this value in the world.
Yes. I think a huge thing for me, and thank you for sharing it in the way that you do. You're just lighting up my heart right now. Was that when we allow someone to pay a premium, so not to say anything's right or wrong, but we feel different if we pay for a bag at H&M or we go to Prada, for instance. Or, I can stay at this motel, or, I'm going to allow myself to stay in a 5-star suite. So with the pricing, it's like, are we firing them up, the woman who's buying, the woman who's going to invest, when we allow her to pay a higher price, which I'm not into bro marketing and just like amping up the price. I am all for over delivering. That's my motto, like over delivering always, and service based and leading with value. But I remember hearing this at one point, like, if you're not willing to charge a higher price, you're taking that away from them. You're not letting them have the option to invest and to feel fired up. Like that pride in carrying the Prada bag or checking into that suite or saying, yes, I'm going to invest, whether it's $5 or $10 or $20,000 in myself because I am worth it. That was a big reframe for me. So it wasn't about me anymore, but it was about charging them, like letting them tune into that frequency and that energy.
Yeah, I love that. I think that was a big shift even in my own kind of consciousness and awareness as well, which I think comes only when you are investing in yourself at that level too. As a coach or as a yoga teacher, you have to invest in yourself if you want other people to invest in what you're offering at that level, right? And then I think as a woman, we tend to prioritize everyone else's needs and wants and desires over our own. We're trained that way often. And to just look at that and stop and be like, actually, my own self-development or education or learning or advancement in whatever area you want to excel in is worth this investment. I'm worth this investment, worth investing in me. Which is just, money is just energy. Rather than giving all of your energy, including your money, to your kids and your kids' activities and your dinners and your all the things that you're expected to do, right?
Yes.
But turning it in and saying, actually, I'm worth this. And it's not the scraps at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And the thing is, and I'm sure you recognize this from yourself too, or correct me if I'm wrong, but when we invest in us, there's a ripple effect. If we have a partner, are we married? Do we have kids? Our family, when we feel great, I'm fired up. I'm going for my dreams. I'm feeling more confident. I have more energy. Now I can be there so much more for everyone else. So it's never just investing in us, although we think it is. And I hear what you're saying fully. But yes, we need to allow ourselves to do that because, oh gosh, wow, is there a lot of programming around money and success for women especially? I was just with a friend this weekend. She's also an entrepreneur and she has a certification program here in Denmark. And she's brought in some phenomenal women to teach in the program. And she said to me, I keep asking them to send me an invoice. Like they already went, they already delivered material, they already showed up, they taught. I am begging them to send me an invoice to let me pay them. And we're talking about, wow, would that happen to a man?
Yeah.
Because
it might. It depends on the man, how organized he is.
Yes, for sure. But for women, like there's so much history around money. Like it's not even that many years ago, we were not allowed to have our own bank account. We were not allowed to have a credit card. And so much of taking up space and being confident, which I love because it plays into manifestation. When you feel whole, when you feel confident within, now boom, you can start manifesting. But when we were little girls and we were taught like, sit still, play nice, be the good girl, take care of your siblings. And this goes for all children, not just women or girls, but always asking for permission, right? Can I have that ice cream? Can I have that doll? And all the programming we grow up with, who do you think you are? Money doesn't grow on trees. And every time, Harmony, I'm telling you, when I hear people say money doesn't grow on trees, I stop and I say, you know, it actually does, right? Like it literally grows on trees. It's paper.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's so interesting that you bring how you have to feel confident and feel expansive in order to manifest or call in the things that you want in your life.
Okay, now you're going to get me going. That is what I love about manifestation. And I think that's a big misconception. And I'm not going to like say that it's bad, but so many of the like mainstream hacks have a vision board, do affirmations, sit down and write about your dreams as if you already have them in the present tense, have a gratitude journal. And these things are good, they're great, but it's coming from, this is my logical mind. And manifestation is not just a logical step-by-step process. It's who you are being. It's who you are being in the world. And so I always say, you're always vibrating, right? Whether you're sleeping or you're like wide awake, you're always vibrating in existence. So you're always manifesting. It's coming from your being. And like you said, we were in the same coaching program together where we also learned so much about the subconscious mind, and where 95% of our patterns, our reactions, our triggers, what we do, it's subconscious. So thinking, right? It's a big topic. We can sit all day and say consciously, this is what I want. But that's the thing that I love. Like one of my main things that I love working on is the identity piece. Because if I see that, okay, let's say I want to manifest $1 million business, or I want to manifest my dream partner, or I manifest getting pregnant, I want to manifest losing weight, whatever the thing is, how do I see myself? How do I perceive myself? Because a thing a lot of people do, what I used to do myself is I would have the goal, let's just say we started talking about money. So let's say it's $1 million.
Yeah.
That's my goal. That's what I want to manifest. But now when I look at that goal, I think, wow, that's far away. Like now all my unconscious and subconscious comes up, right? Because now I'm thinking, oh, but I'm not the type of woman who can do that. That seems hard. That seems far away. So now we have instant resistance towards where we're trying to go. So where the real work starts is if I had $1 million, or the beliefs of a woman who easily and powerfully makes $1 million. How does she perceive herself? What does she believe about herself? So when I can believe that, oh, actually, maybe it can happen for me. Or, oh, maybe it doesn't have to be that hard. Maybe it could happen faster than I currently thought it could happen. So I'm starting to update how I'm seeing myself, my identity. Then boom, it's a whole game changer. So it's all about the being. It's all about the being.
I love that. That's something I think about often. And I love that you bring in this time thing, because that's always something that I question, whether it's myself saying it or someone else. Oh, that's going to take a long time. I always think or say, does it have to? It doesn't have to take a long time. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen in the next hour. Most things could happen like immediately almost, right?
They could. They could.
Yeah, the fact that we keep projecting it so far away, of course, it's not going to happen for a long time.
Absolutely.
Because that's where we're putting it.
Yeah.
Until we stop putting it out there and bring it in here.
Yes, I love what you're saying. And like, what is that quote? I think it's something like, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you believe. So maybe I want it, logical mind, again, conscious thinking, which is only 5% of our being, our behavior, our feelings, emotions, the whole shebang. It's like, oh, I want it now, but I believe so deep in my body, it has to be hard. It takes a long time. Like, it's really going to be a struggle to get there. So when I believe, oh, that's going to take such a long time. Yes, you're absolutely right. Like, then that is what we're manifesting. I love that the term quantum leap is so out there, but it makes me a little sad that I think sometimes when a thing becomes so mainstream, we don't take it as serious anymore because it's just this like hook or catchphrase. But quantum leap came from quantum physics. Like, it is a thing. When you switch, you shift your belief, you shift your frequency. Boom, that's it. You could walk into a supermarket tomorrow and strike up a conversation, and that's your soulmate. Or that's the business opportunity. Or that's the whatever you were looking for. It is always right here.
Yeah.
And on that note, a thing that I like as a perspective is, because if anyone's listening and they're like, yeah, that's easier said than done, I want to be like, yeah, I know it's easier said than done, but we're not here for easy. We're here for amazing. We're here for the incredible. So a thing that I like, a perspective I like, is that the thing you want right now is already there. It's already here. So if it's the money, nobody has to plant the trees, grow the trees, chop them down, make dollar bills. The money is here. It's already here. If you want to meet your soulmate, it's not now I want a soulmate, so he has to be conceived and is a baby, is going to grow up. No. I mean, there's a grown man out there right now. So it's everything we want. It is right here, right now. But we, from our beliefs, are programming our reticular activating system. So if I have a belief that I can't have it, or I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, then I'm not even allowing my mind to open up to see that it's there. So how can I start seeing that it's right there? Because the subconscious is always looking for evidence, right? Where is the money?
Yeah.
There's clients all around. Oh, there's amazing, wonderful, respectable men or women, whatever you're into. They're right here already.
I love that. And what I think people maybe would be thinking or asking is, how do you know? I mean, if all of these beliefs that we have, which is most of our beliefs about the world, are unconscious, we don't sit around and think about them often. We just act from them.
Yes.
So how do you know if you're having resistance or have an unconscious belief that's going against like your happiness or your fulfillment or what you want to create or manifest in the world?
Oh, I love that. Okay, I have a few ways I could go with this, but I want to start by saying, if you don't already have it, you're not programmed for it. If your programming was for it, you'd have it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's like karma.
It's like because your physical 3D reality is always showing back to you what's going on within you. I love the metaphor that we are like 3D printers walking around. I've never had a 3D printer, so in case people are like, I don't have one, no, but we can imagine, just visualize a 3D printer. And we're writing in this document.
I've seen one. They're pretty cool.
So like my beliefs, my emotions, what's going on in my nervous system, all of it, my thoughts are being written in this document. And the world, the 3D world, is the 3D printer reflecting it back to me. So if you say, I want to make more money, I want whatever the thing is, our current programming, just look in your reality. It's showing your programming.
Yeah,
and then I'd
that's
say,
amazing.
It's a little brutal.
What about this? Let's take something that maybe, like, say it's not money, because maybe people don't know how that's showing up for them. Or maybe they're like, well, I get what I get and I don't get upset or something like that, right? But what if it's like health or weight? And you're like, no, I really am, like, I'm working out and I'm eating healthy and I'm taking care of myself the best I know how, but I'm still not the weight that I want to be.
Yeah.
Or I still don't have the health that I want to have, or something like that. Like, how, because this feels like something that you actually could create. $1 million might seem like something that's impossible, but like your own physical body feels like something that's like really close and intimate to ourselves. Yeah. And so it should be able to show up the way we want it to, right? But if it's not showing up the way we want it to, where are we going wrong?
Oh, wow. Great question. And I love that you bring up the body. Okay. Let me see how I can make this short. Okay. So I know you know, but for maybe the listeners out there, we don't think of fear in this concept. And I promise I'll circle back so it makes sense. But I want to just put in, if you imagine a zebra and a lion out on the savannah, the zebra sees the lion. And all of a sudden, it activates the sympathetic nervous system. It goes into fight or flight. Blood rushes, like adrenaline is pumping from the mind into the legs so it can run and survive. So bringing it back to how we are, 95% of our programming is subconscious. We, most of the time, don't know that we're afraid of the thing that we want. So everything you don't currently have is outside your comfort zone. And a lot of clients and people say to me, no, it's not outside my comfort zone because right now, what I have right now, I don't like. It's not making me happy. This is not great. This doesn't feel like comfort. Whether that's being overweight or it's the money, it's the business, it's the part, whatever that is, what you have right now, your subconscious mind, your nervous system knows you're safe, you're surviving. It's going to try to keep you there. So when we say with our conscious mind, I want to lose weight, I want to lose 10 pounds, I want to build muscles, I want to have a beautiful bikini body, to use your example.
It's summer. Let's have a beautiful bikini body.
Yeah, and just vibrant energy that carries me throughout the day and I feel good. Now, I'm not just talking about looks, but how you feel energetically inside. So and again, this is why it's subconscious. It's unconscious. We don't know we're carrying this around. But actually, when we think, oh, I want that beautiful, healthy body, I want to lose this weight, if we have any unconscious blocks, what happens in our nervous system is the same reaction as when the zebra sees the lion. We fear it. We fear getting there. And this is mind-blowing, I think, or at least when I heard about it and when I started learning about it, I was like blown away. And it's one of my favorite questions to ask is, what do I fear would happen when I have the goal? What do I fear would happen when I have the goal? And a lot of people will say, I don't fear anything. But to just sit with it, to be really curious about it and see what comes up. And it's trying to protect us in some way. Your body, your nervous system is always trying to protect you. So there's nothing to judge. And oh gosh, we women, we're so hard on ourselves. So if we can drop into this with no judgment and really just see what's here. Another tool or another way that I like to see, well, where am I blocked, is to write your goal and then see what comes after but. So if you say, I want to lose 10 pounds, but, because whatever comes after is like revealing, right? I want to lose 10 pounds, but that's going to require so much hard work and I'm going to have to eat all the gross foods. Or I want the money, but I'm not the type of person who can figure it out. So state your goal and then see whatever comes after but, and now you know what to work on. That's the belief you want to shift.
Ooh, that's a good one, because that really reveals all of those objections that come up.
Yeah.
I want to lose 10 pounds, but I don't want to work out and I don't want to do cardio and I don't want to give up drinking my glass of wine every night, right? Not necessarily that losing pounds means you have to do all of those things either, right? But that's what we're making it mean in our head.
Yes, exactly.
Which stops us from actually taking steps forward.
Yes. And you're spot on. The mind is a meaning-making mechanism. Like it's always trying to attach meaning to whatever's going on. Yes, exactly. Yeah, but that's what I love about manifestation is if anybody's listening and they're thinking this, I know your listeners are very aware, very consciously developed, but if anyone's listening,
but I think people are skeptical too. So I think it's good that you're explaining this because I do think there's two camps. There's definitely the woo camp that I know and love. They're like, we can do it. Let's manifest. But also there's some science behind it too, right? And I think that's where the people who are skeptical that are like, oh, you can't, whether you call it manifestation or cause and effect or karma or whatever you want to call it, there is some science behind it. And you're giving us that science right now, actually.
Oh, and I love that you bring that in. There's so much science. I just saw someone release a huge report, and I know I did not dive in yet. I want to, from the CIA. Like, what? And NASA and all these reports proving why manifestation is real. It's mind blowing. But see, again, like I love the mind, but it's also playing games, right? So I would say to anyone who's a skeptic, for sure, be a skeptic all you want. That's fine. Just be aware. I would say to anyone, if you allow yourself to be curious, maybe a whole new world will open up. I'm not here to change anybody's mind. I'm not here to force anyone to have any certain belief, not at all. But what I would love to do is if anybody is skeptic, to allow yourself to be curious. Because here's the thing, again, with the fear-based mind and the monkey mind, to use that term, is that it's always trying to keep you in your comfort zone. It's always trying to hold you back to where you are right now. So sometimes being skeptic is even a defense mechanism from the ego trying to hold you back. So there's nothing to judge, nothing ever to judge. And I am not, because I've been a skeptic like way more than anyone. So I get it. But if you want to allow yourself to be curious, and like I said before, the subconscious mind is always looking for evidence. It's always looking for proof. So going from it cannot happen, oh, it's not real. Like either the goal, it can't happen. No, it can't happen. If that's what you're saying, your mind is looking for evidence why that's true. If you're saying manifestation is BS and the energetics and all that, no, it's BS. Again, your mind is looking for proof. But flip it on the other side and is looking for proof. Now you're going to see proof everywhere.
Yeah. And we know this is the case because we have a mechanism in our brains that's filtering out like 95% of everything most of the time. And we have something called selection bias. And so it's only selecting the things that are important to us to pay attention to. And so whether we believe this is real or this isn't real, our brains are selecting the things to help reinforce what we already know and believe. And that's why it's so hard to know what we don't know that we don't know, right?
Yes.
Because our brains keep us in this loop of reinforcing only the things that we know or believe. Yeah. And so to take that quantum leap, to just come full circle back to where we started, you have to do exactly what you're saying. If you want something that you don't have, you have to flip it and then start to find all the things around you that will make that belief come true or be true for you, right?
Yes. Yes.
It is, I guess maybe some people think it's like brain hacking or mind hacking, but I think you're right. I think it's also energy alignment and energy hacking in a way, because we all want to feel good and happy and fulfilled and love our bodies and love our lives. And so we can choose to find all the reasons why we love our body and why we think we're beautiful and see ourselves like, oh, look, I'm looking so good today or whatever it is. And that's going to help us to keep taking those positive steps towards our health or our weight goal or making better choices for ourselves. We're feeling more confident or more secure within ourselves. So maybe we don't need a glass of wine at night or whatever it is, right? Whatever the habit is that you're trying to change. And all of a sudden, then your whole life changes because you're making these tiny, small choices and decisions that are reinforcing a feeling thought. When we start noticing things, when we start making different choices, because we're noticing certain things that we weren't noticing or seeing before, our whole reality starts to change, right?
Yes, I love what you're saying. And back to what I said earlier about like confidence. I think we can all relate to when you walk into a room and you feel confident. You have a good day. Like today, I feel good. I am making things happen. Versus, I'm burned out or I didn't get enough sleep or I have all these negative thoughts going on. It's a feeling thought. It's a feeling. And something that I love also, that this is not even woo-woo, it's science, that we all have our biofield. We have our physical body and then we have the energy body. And with highly developed technology, they can measure the energy. So when they measure the energy around your body, your biofield, when they measure the energy around your head, it goes about 3 feet out. But when they measure from your heart, it goes twice as much. It's 6 feet out. So when we talk about vibration, your body is having the experiences, right? When you're triggered, when you get really scared or angry, or when you get really excited, where do you feel it? You feel it in your body. So coming back to me, it's all about who you're being, aligning your being so that it's not just in the mind. It's not, I'm trying to force myself to be positive. I'm trying to force myself to do these visualizations or affirmations. And I'm saying these affirmations, but I don't really believe in them. Like my body's disconnected. Your body is giving you the signs. So when you think about your goal, how do you feel in your body? Like if they really slow down, I want to lose weight, to use that example. I want to be more flexible if it's yoga. I want to lose weight. I want to feel attractive again. I want to walk on the beach and feel sexy if that's the goal. As I'm thinking of that, what is happening in my body? Because you're vibrating with your whole being. So that's why it's so important that we shift the beliefs. And you're an incredible coach, Harmony. So you know all about this, like shifting the beliefs. And when I start seeing myself as, yes, I can have that body. And so here's the thing, actually, everything is always created twice. So it's created in the metaphysical first. That's the vision. It's the idea. It's the pool. And then the second is in the 3D reality. So we've all heard that quote, I'll believe it when I see it. Flip that around. That's my rule of life. Like when I believe it, okay, now I know I'll see it. And there's a story that I love, and I don't even know where I heard it, but it was Walt Disney who was flying over Anaheim in a helicopter and dirt. It was just a swamp. There was nothing there. And Walt Disney saying to the pilot, look, it's there. It looks amazing. And the pilot's thinking he's lost his mind, like he's cuckoo. But he could see Disney World in his mind. Everything, you think about it, you see it in the mind, you have that vision. Now you go into aligning your being. What do I have to believe for this to be true? I have to believe that maybe it can happen. Maybe it's actually a possibility. And then I start taking aligned action, because where manifestation, and I think the book and the movie that I think everyone knows, The Secret, did a great job at opening our minds, but it just didn't talk about the action piece. The action being in alignment is so important, because if it was just about action, everyone who ever had burnout would have their goal. And that's not the case, unfortunately.
Yeah, mostly you still don't have it.
I know. Oh, talk to me about burnout. So it's that aligned action, the inspired action that I believe this can happen. And also the times where I don't believe, but I'm going to give my dream the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to allow myself to see if this could come true.
That's so cool. I think that's sort of like I'm allowing for the possibility that I could manifest $1 million.
Yes.
Or that I could have $1 million sitting in my bank account if it feels so far away, right? Or I'm allowing for the possibility that I could do this posture or be this flexible.
Yes. You know what? That's making me think of the universal laws. And for anyone who here, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but the universal laws are incredible because we talk so much about the law of attraction, which first of all, I don't like the word. Because if people feel into, actually take a breath and feel law of attraction. As if I have to attract it. It's out there. Like the vibrations, like effort. No, it's the law of receiving. The law of allowing or the law of vibrating, to me, I like that so much more. It feels better in my body. But there's so many universal laws. And one of the universal laws, so in terms of what you just said, using the law of relativity, like that law states, everything is relative to who is the perceiver. So if I say, oh, $1 million is a lot of money, or, oh, if I could make $100,000 a month, that's a lot of money. Some people can't even pay their bills with that. They would think, oh, that's not that much. It's the law.
I actually know people like that.
Right. That's wild. I love it. It's amazing. And someone who maybe has trained for something before, or they've done certain things and they know they can really affect their body, might think, oh, losing 10 pounds? Oh, that's no big deal. Or maybe they're a trainer and they see it happen all the time. So asking like, is it really that big? And now I just also want to say, it's not like I'm not Jeff Bezos rich. So I get that we have, like, it's all perception. But using that law to question the mind, like, is that too much? No, there are people out there who have it. There are people who out there who think it's a huge thing. To them, it's not that much, and let that inspire us.
Yeah, I'll never forget when I heard one yoga studio owner that I knew spent on flowers for the yoga studio in 1 month what I made in a whole year. I almost lost my mind.
Wow. Yes.
I was like, holy shit.
Wow. Whoa, that's a lot. I would love to have that many flowers.
Yoga teachers don't make that much. But yeah, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful setting.
I can imagine.
I want to circle back to something that you said that I think was really important. Sometimes we might not be able to see the possibility for ourselves or quite believe it for ourselves. And I think that's where borrowing someone else's sight or belief can be really helpful, like a trainer or a teacher or a coach or a mentor who can see in you what you can't see for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Or can also help you see maybe how you're sabotaging yourself from actually getting what you want or doing the thing you want or being the person you want to be.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard to see ourselves. It's really hard to have that come up into our awareness without having the mirror of another person.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. To have someone hold that mirror and the mirror looks bright and it's shiny and you're like, ooh, yeah, this looks good. To have someone see you in your wholeness because you are. That's the thing that's blocking us. And I want to say this to anyone who's listening. The thing that's maybe blocking you, it's not reality. It's not what's actually possible. It's your limited version of yourself. And I say that with so much love and compassion. And we all have limits. We can expand our upper limit and our comfort zone. But I also believe that there's a reason we're human. We're born to be here on this earth, in this dimension, right here, right now. So we are born to feel fear. We're born to have an ego. We're not robots. We're not Barbie and Ken. Like, we're supposed to be human. So when we can embrace, oh, I'm here, I'm human, and I can start to see that there's so much more available that I'm allowing myself to see, and then to start feeling it. And it's like the magnet, right? I love that metaphor, that manifestation. And what you're vibrating, the vibration you're on, the perspective you have, what you're seeing in the world is what you're attracting. So it's that magnet, you're always pulling it to you. And I think that's phenomenal because it means that you literally can tune your own magnetic field. You can tune your own frequency. You can tune your own thoughts. And it's inevitable. You will have the things. You will.
What are some of the ways that you would recommend people do to help tune their thoughts or tune their energy?
Love that. So going back to identity, a huge thing. This was, and I don't think I'm a dramatic person, but I will say this perspective saved my life. Like when I was in one of my lowest places, I got fired. I had huge debt. I got out of a really toxic relationship. I was in my 20s. I had to move back in with my parents because I couldn't even pay my own groceries. Things were bad. I was crippled by anxiety and I felt so lost. I had no idea what to do with my life and I just felt so broken. And that's when I heard about the law of correspondence, which states that as within, so without. So it's the law of vibration that what we're experiencing, back to the 3D printer, what's going on within is reflected in our reality. So the reason I loved this, and I hope that your listeners, they can maybe feel into this, is that what defines your life, what you're manifesting, has nothing to do with your current reality. So you don't even have to worry about your bank account. You don't have to worry about how you look right now. You don't have to worry about being single if you don't want to be. We place so much attention on our current reality when then that's what we're creating more of. So there's a term right now. It's like delulu, to be delusional. And so, I mean, with a grain of salt.
I love it.
But to really stop, okay, and disclaimer, I'm not saying don't check your bank account and balance your books, not like that, right? But start tuning into, start visualizing, start feeling, who would I be? How would I feel if I had it already? Walt Disney, who could see that swamp and he could just see Disney World in your life right now. And people can close their eyes and tune in if they want. Really, what's your dream reality? Start rehearsing it within yourself through visualization, through feeling into being there right here, right now. It's in my world. I have it already, and start playing with that. So you're actually rehearsing your nervous system, you're rewiring your subconscious to really tune into that as within, so without. So you can create anything in your imagination. Wayne Dyer, who I think most people know, who's an incredible writer, author, spiritual teacher, he always said the most powerful force we have is our imagination. So to start imagining, start seeing it. And then, of course, back to align your beliefs and aligned inspired action. Then we can create anything. So visualization, really tuning into your vision, allow yourself to have a dream that feels good, that fires you up. Because I meet a lot of women who think they need to claim smaller to be okay. Or they think that, oh, I should have this goal because that's what my parents want. Or some people might say, oh, I should manifest this type of car because then people will look up to me. And sure, you can do those things. But when you manifest from your heart, like really tune into your soul first. Like that's step number one is your soul, your intuition. What did you come here for? What lights you up? And then allow yourself to create that vision and really tune into it and be in it and feel it. That is so powerful. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he said that when he won the world championships in bodybuilding, he said, I'd already been there so many times in my mind. To rehearse that reality is just phenomenal.
Yeah, that's incredible. I love that too. I think that's one of the things that I really work on. I really try to get to the heart of when I'm working with clients, which is finding the juicy goal. Because sometimes we have these goals, but they're not like really juicy. I mean, losing 10 pounds. I don't know any woman who doesn't have that as a goal. You can be like thin and you're still like, I could lose an extra 5 pounds or whatever, right? There's all kinds of silly things that aren't really meaningful and aren't going to really change your life or change something really important to you. And so like I love that, finding the thing that really lights you up, that really, and maybe it's like walking into a room and loving your body and loving who you are and feeling just magnetic. Like maybe that's the goal. Who cares about the 5 pounds? Let's go for that.
Yes.
Let's go for something that's really like bold and sexy and beautiful and amazing. Also, I find even in the yoga, who cares if you can do a posture? But what's the juiciness of it? What do you think that thing's going to give you? Let's find
That's
what's
the key.
underneath that.
Yes, you just said it. Because all the things that we think we want to manifest, it's not the thing, it's the feeling. It's that feeling. That's what we want. That's what we want. We outsource our happiness and our joy so much to, it's out there or one day and I'll get it when. Yeah. Whereas when we start insourcing, I can feel this now. I can feel it. I can use my imagination. I can play with it. I can be in it. That's just such a much more awesome place to live, even just until the goal arrives, until we arrive in that dream or reality. So we talked about some science. I want to get a little woo-woo, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's go there.
And I don't even know if it's that woo-woo, but I love it. It's called the New Earth frequency, which is leading with your heart. Is that all humans? And so what my spiritual teacher and what I'm hearing that I love is that there's this energy stream that's been coming to Earth for the past few years, super intensified. And how it feels like in humanity, in our human experience, is that time was just speeding up. Like we snapped our fingers and now 2 years have passed. That's how it feels. But what's happening is that there's a huge frequency shift from masculine energy and being in the logical mind, and that actually working out to it's not working anymore. Because, and here's where it gets woo-woo, it's like the universe is calling humans forward to lead with their heart, to lean into the feminine. And so I don't personally like any kind of limitations. Whatever you hear anyone with a limitation, question that. Question it. Question the belief. Do not buy into it. Because we're programmed 24/7. So just disconnect. But what some people are saying, and here's why I don't like it, is that it's hard to manifest from the mind. When you manifest from your heart, it's easy. So the reason that I don't want you to buy into this is that I don't want you thinking anything is hard. Let's just not believe that. But I do think, having said that, is that you are put here as the soul in your human body now with a purpose. I truly believe all humans have a purpose. So when you lean into your intuition and you say, what does my heart want? What is resonating in my heart? And you allow yourself the courage to build your life around that. It's the energy, the vibrations are so much more potent. It's like the universe just swoops in and is like, oh, whoa, yes, this is what you're meant to do. This is what you called here on earth. Let's help you. Like, here's synchronicity. Here is that happening. Here is this door opening. And like I said in the very beginning, that manifestation is not just a logical mind process. It's actually very intuitive. So to really tune in and do this co-creation dance with the universe, okay, does this feel good in my whole being? Because we've all had goals or done things that we think we should do and it came from the mind instead of trusting our heart. So when we trust our heart, and like you said, go for that juiciest, sexiest, best, most beautiful, gorgeous vision, and we feel that lighting up our heart back to the biofield, it can even be measured that your vibration is that much stronger.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that you do that with your clients. I think it's so important. We can absolutely manifest from ego. We can manifest the partner who looks like this or the job that looks like this to be accepted. But manifesting from essence, like, boom, that's the life we want, right? What about tuning into your heart from the beginning and manifesting what you truly want?
Just thinking of how many ladders have leaned against wrong walls in my life.
Oh, I lost count. I don't even know in my life. Again, we're humans, right? It's what we're here for. We're not here to be perfect.
You have a wonderful guide, I think, that you can share with people, and it's the 7 steps to manifesting anything, right?
Yes, good memory. Yes, 7 steps to manifest anything. And it's free for a limited time. And again, back to intuition.
Okay.
So I don't have a deadline. Right now, it's free. So if you go to livness.com/7 steps, it will show up.
Okay, let's talk about it then. So what is someone going to learn in the 7 steps to manifest anything? What am I going to learn?
Thank you for asking. Again, like I said, manifestation is not this logical process. So it's not going to teach you affirmations and do vision boards like this. It's really just a whole heart framework. And actually, funny enough, step number 1 is grounding and coming back to your center. Because which most ambitious women, men, people in this modern day society, we're addicted to cortisol. Whereas our nervous system is so much in fight or flight or freeze. And you're laughing, you're like, yep. Right?
That's true.
So step number 1 is calming your nervous system. It's grounding. Because when you're in fight, flight, or freeze, you are not in your most expansive creational life force energy. So to really come back, and then it takes you through the process. Okay, heart resonance, finding your soul dream, your soul truth dream, and what to do from there. So it's really a framework. So if someone wants to manifest a very specific goal, like this is my one goal, this is what I want, they can use this framework. Or if they say, okay, you know what? My whole life needs a makeover right now, they can use it. So it's a 22-minute video where I guide and give the steps and give prompts. Okay, so you can use these questions to help you dismantle this limiting belief that's holding you back, and to then arrive in aligned action. And also, one of the most potent vibrations, I think the strongest place to be in is certainty. To stay in certainty. Like if we feel into in our bodies, when I know I am certain, like this is the truth for me, we're just like, no BS. Like it's cutting through all other energies. It's just that clear signal to the universe. This is it. So then you're irresistible. You cannot help but get what you want. And the metaphor that I like is that we would never plant flowers in the garden and then go dig up the seeds every other day and to pull out the seeds and look at them. Right. We do that with our manifestation and our goals and intentions all the time. Why is it not here? Why is it taking so long? I'm doing this wrong. Oh no, maybe I don't have what it takes. So that's the same as pulling out the seed every time. And we don't want to do that. We want to plant the seed and trust it. To go into surrendered action, nurturing the soil, giving the right amount of water, which is taking the inspired aligned action, really staying in certainty. So that's, to get the full 7 steps, they'll have to download it. Cliffhanger. But that was the overview. And thank you so much for asking. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I think it's great because I really do think that sometimes manifestation gets a bit of a bad rap in that it's like you say affirmations and vision boards. But I feel like there's a lot of actually yogic principles or Eastern philosophy. This idea, you know, when you look at The Secret or all of these things, quantum physics, yes, but it's all proving this same idea that it's about our own vibrational energy, and so much of spiritual practice, spiritual wellness, whether that's yoga, whether that's chanting, whether that's prayer, meditation, right? All of these spiritual practices are really about tuning and elevating the frequency at which we're vibrating so that we can emit that frequency to the people and things around us, so that we can create a more harmonious planet or attract also other things that are vibrating at those frequencies into our reality. And I think attract, like you say, is a mixed bag because it's not even that it's attracting, it's just that our minds start seeing what our energy is matching at that frequency, or what we're thinking about, we start to see more of, because that's just the way our brains work.
Yes. And I love what you do in your coaching business too, and the coaching in general, like you said earlier, about having someone to support you. Because the thing is, I could sit and be in a high vibration. I could visualize. I could do all the things. I can use my imagination to, let's say, have a successful business. The universe cannot go over my head. I have to actually start the business, have the bank account, try to go get the clients and attract the clients. And that's where all the limiting beliefs come up. Don't buy into my beliefs. This is my experience. Saying to your listeners, don't buy into my beliefs. But a lot of the times it is, right? That's when we have to take action. That's when it comes up, because that's when we're moving outside our comfort zone. And that's where coaching is incredible to help you lean into action, keep taking the action. And like you said, with spiritual practices, meditation, yoga, to nurture your being so you keep coming from a full cup, not burnout, not push or force. What you're coming from within you is what you're attracting. So if you're coming from, I should do this, and it feels a bit forced and it feels like an obligation, the outcome you're manifesting is gonna feel forced and like an obligation. But if I'm coming from, this is expansive, I'm loving in this as I'm doing my actions, as I'm taking my steps, that's what I'm manifesting. And again, back to you manifest who you are being. So the person who has lost 10 pounds, or the person who has the sexy beach body, or the person who has $1 million business, what are their daily habits? If that was me, or that version of me who is doing it, what's her daily habits? What action is she taking? How is she nurturing herself, her spiritual practice? And I would say one thing that I want to leave you guys with is that being okay with discomfort. There's this thing in manifestation that a lot of people say, like, oh, you have to feel good, you have to feel high vibe all the time. So I may be the weirdest manifestation coach in the world, but I'll say no. That's not true. Because I think that's an ego loop. That's an ego trap in manifestation, that then people are scared to feel sad. They're scared to feel the emotions. But the universe put you here as a human being. So you're meant to have all of your emotions. You're not meant to stay down, but when you can clear it, when you, whether alone or with a coach like you, Harmony, or whoever it is, to clear those things so that now I come from a clean place. Now I feel fired up. I think that is so important.
It's so true, because I think you have to feel it to heal it. You got to feel it to let go of it. Otherwise, you're just suppressing and stuffing it down. And that turns into your unconscious garbage that's holding you back from doing the things you really want, or meeting the people you really want to meet, or calling in the kind of life you want to have, because you're not allowing yourself to be, feel, and meet yourself where you are in that present moment, right? We have to actually, like you say, you're not going to become a millionaire or build $1 million business if you're not looking at your bank account every once in a while, right? Or if you're not paying off your debt. Or if you're not taking the steps to start a business or start building the kind of business you want. So we have to actually meet ourselves where we are and get real with all of the fear and the feelings in order to clear it, so that we can then shift, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because within us, and what you're saying, like, that's our dominating vibration. So we can sometimes try to shift our focus, or I could do a gratitude journal, which I'm not bashing that. That's amazing. Go for it. Do a gratitude journal. But I'm just saying, like, those deeper emotions, like our core vibration is there. Like, we need to tend to that. So if whoever's listening, if you want a great exercise, I would say journal on and really tune into the version of me who has my goal. What does she believe? What does she think of herself? How does she perceive herself? And you can even do like a manifesto around that person so that you start seeding it in your subconscious. You start shifting your focus to it. And actually going back to what I said about discomfort, like for me, I knew when I wanted to launch this business, I had 2 businesses before. One was fashion, one was real estate marketing, and then going into personal development, like such a completely different space, right? And I knew that who I was believing and perceiving myself to be couldn't build the business. Because I thought, I'm not good enough. I can't help anyone. I can't add value. So the version of me who has that type of business, what does she believe about herself? And I had to decide what's her daily life and what is she okay with? And I decided she's okay with discomfort. Because this is not going to be comfortable. This is going to require me to really expand my being, expand my capacity, go outside my comfort zone. You could even write in your manifesto, if people want, the ones who are listening, like, how will I show up with fear? Am I the type of person that when fear comes up, I collapse? Or am I going to allow it to come up and pass? How am I going to be with myself in those times? Again, your dominating vibration is who you are being in the world. Oh, last tip. Can I give one more?
Oh, yeah. Please.
Because one thing that sometimes trips us up, and going home back to women and programming and the whole thing, is you can also write a list. And I love this, is write your goal and then write all the ways it serves humanity. All the ways it serves the greater good. Because sometimes if I think that, having $1 million business and a sexy beach body, that's selfish. Then we go into self-sabotage. But if I can link it to something higher and it serves the world, it serves my community, it teaches my kids to show up in a certain way, or it's an inspiration, I can help, I can donate to charities. When we can really see all the ways us having that helps, we can clear shame and self-sabotage way easier. So really write down the thing you want. Why is that amazing for the whole world? And tune into that.
I think that's so important and such an amazing kind of hack for those of us who feel like, this is too selfish. This is all about me. But actually, when you feel great, everyone around you feels great. So
yes.
I feel like that's such an important thing to bring up. Yeah.
Mother Teresa, I love this quote. Mother Teresa said, "It takes a checkbook to change the world." Imagine we had millions to create incredible change. So no, it's not selfish. It's not greedy. On the contrary, the world needs it. Yeah.
Yeah. And just to go a little bit back to what you were saying about this shift in this earth energy or this earth frequency and the heart-centeredness and putting more money in the hands of more women, I am all for it too, because there's been a lot of different research and science studies showing that when women start to increase their income, what happens is actually it doesn't just get spent on themselves. It actually filters down much more, like 60% more or something, than if a man has increased or has the same amount of income. It gets filtered down to other women, other businesses, children, charities, families.
Yes.
And so I'm all for putting more money in the hands of more women, because I think we're naturally generous and community-minded and community-oriented, and we want to share. We love sharing. That's something that's a part of our heart. Not to say that there aren't men who don't love sharing, because of course there are. Of course there are. It's just like in our DNA, I think. We want to support other good causes and charities. And we really have that heart-centeredness where we feel, I don't know, empathy and the pain of other people suffering. We see, if this person's suffering, that affects all of us. I don't know. We have more of that kind of awareness, it seems to me, right?
Agreed. Yeah. And women were the caregivers. We were at home. We were taking care of the community, the children, elders, where men would go out and hunt. So you're right. Like, it is in our DNA to take care. And I agree with you that, of course, I know men who are extremely loving and generous. And I kind of want to touch on, if anybody's sitting out there thinking, yes, I can see how that changes the world, but what about me having that sexy bikini body? How does that change the world? Or like, how does that serve the greater good? I think no matter what it is, we're all connected. Like, look up the divine love oneness, look up vibration. And the thing about vibration is that empty space does not exist. So if anybody's like in their house right now and you look up to the ceiling, you look to the walls, we cannot see it with our human eyes, but it's not empty space. It carries frequency and information. And that's science, it's not woo. So everything literally is connected. So when you're walking down the beach and you feel good, you're not just raising your own vibration, you're helping raise the vibration and joy and confidence on the planet. So no goal, I think, unless we're talking extreme, we're not going to go there. I'm not going to mention any names, but like for kind-hearted, soul-centered human beings, you can't want something that's selfish. It benefits everything and everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So if someone wants to really accelerate their manifestation power and their abilities to supercharge it, I think you have a course or something that they can, and like it's so affordable. I think this is like such an affordable course or product that you're serving. Tell me about this manifestation accelerator.
Thank you. Thank you for asking. Yes,
so I can go and buy it. I want to jump in. And, it's amazing.
I love that. And it is crazy. But again, intuition is taking the lead. So I'm so excited. Yeah, it's called Manifestation Accelerator. And it's self-paced. So there's no pressure. You could dive and do it on your own time. But it's shaped as a 21-day experience. And it's right now going on flash sale for $47. Yes. $47. So it is very accessible. And I wanted that because, thank you. Because for one, like, I want this to create a wave. I want it to create a ripple effect in the world where we're just rising up to our potential, living with joy, expanding our capacity for what we can do, because we can do so much. We're unlimited. And I really want that to come out into the world. And when I say that it's a 3-week experience, again, it's self-paced. So when you invest, you get a login and there's 5 steps that are dropped each week. So there's no pressure. You can finish it however you want. You could dive in. You could do it in 3 days. You could do it in 3 months. It's up to you. I wanted to create a resource, a tool that was very accessible. Something that, yes, I have a busy day. I'm so overwhelmed already with life. I have to catch up on this. So that this helps you create actually quite small shifts that have a massive result and effect. So thank you so much for asking. I appreciate that.
I'm super excited. And I am a total sucker for online courses. So.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Love it.
You got one more customer right here. I love this idea of manifesting. And I love this idea also of doing it like a 21-day challenge. That sounds incredible. So yeah, I think everyone should jump in and see what they can do in 21 days, 3 weeks to change your life.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Again, quantum leap. So much can happen. So much can happen. Yeah. And then when they have, or if they feel like, oh, I want to do deeper work and I need more hands-on support, Harmony, they can reach out to you. It's like a perfect win-win.
Wonderful. We got it. We got the universe covered over here in our little corner.
We do. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. And you're such a light. And I love your energy. Thank you for being you.
Thank you. Hey, it's summertime and we have a fun summer challenge, a little game to play with you this summer. We want to get to know you. We want to stay connected and we want to see where you are listening to this episode of the Finding Harmony podcast. So wherever you are on your summer vacation, at the beach, at the cabin, or even a staycation at home, relaxing in the sun, maybe on your patio or by a fire pit, snap a photo, tag us at Finding Harmony Podcast on Instagram, and we cannot wait to see where you're listening to the Finding Harmony podcast and connect with you and say hi. So come on over, take a photo, post it to your social media, your stories, or a post, tag at Finding Harmony Podcast, and let us know what episode you're listening to, what you loved about the episode you're listening to. I can't wait to see you and connect with you online soon. That's it. We've concluded another episode of the Finding Harmony Podcast. I just want to thank you so much for doing the work that changes the world, starting with yourself. It truly does make a huge difference. Please make sure you have your automatic downloads turned on wherever you listen so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. I have so much more magic I can't wait to share with you. Lastly, if you're on Instagram, I love connecting and hearing from you. So come on over and say hello at Finding Harmony Podcast. And you can also come say hello to me personally at Harmony Slater Official. Thank you again for being here. I cannot wait to share more with you in our next episode.